guys, thank you first of all for being out here tonight with us. That means the world to us.
Yep.
And when we sent out that invitation, we didn't just send out like random invitations. We only sent out a handful to people that are special in our lives. So each one of you that's here tonight, you mean something to us.
And close to us.
Exactly. And we're just so happy you're here. This is a big new venture for us, and we're excited you're here. We want to share it with you. So when we first heard about this, Andrea and I think you'll be fascinated with the information Sam and Ray are going to share with you tonight. When we first heard about it, we were so fascinated. We thought, if this is true, we need to be in on this. We need to be in on this and in a big way. And so, yeah, that's how we got started.
Yes, so as most of you know, I am Andre. I am an executive chef. I work at a country club in Virginia. And I've been putting on hours, lots of hours, and miss time with the family, work 6 days, work weekends, work holidays, and sometimes 7 days a week. And at the end of the day, we're still living paycheck to paycheck. And yeah, that hurts, you know.
Yeah. And I think I have friends who don't know my husband still,
yes,
which is really sad. And then I have always worked. I worked up until my oldest son Noah was born. And then after he was born, I've always supplemented our income from home. I've always felt the need to work. I worked from eBay. I worked eBay store for 10 years. I worked on Amazon. And recently I started to work as a marketing assistant for a holistic dentist in our area. And again, that was something that I would submit my hours, they would come back, and I would start at zero again. So.
Yes, and so after working at the Accomac at a restaurant for about 7 years, 7 and a bit, I was laid off, cuts had to be made, and yes, restaurant is closed now, as I don't know, some of you may have heard, and some of the staff still haven't been paid, and
that's the reality. That's the reality of job security. You know, it doesn't really exist like we thought it did. You think
you do a good job, you work hard, you put in the hours, you try to be a leader, and it still can happen to you. So after that, I started working at a country club, a job I really enjoyed. But again, I had an hour to drive one direction. I was working weekends. We had golf tournaments on Mondays, so that was my only day off. Safe day off, which I lost then on those days. So 6-7 day weeks,
Thanksgiving,
plus the driving.
Easter.
It is a strain on the family, you know, and so we were offered in that time to run a restaurant, and so we looked into it and started writing a business plan, and we started studying business. We
became students of business, right?
Yes, started getting into it, and but that didn't work out for several reasons. We didn't have the finances that were necessary to get into it and to sustain it for like a time until you are really profitable and the business is running smoothly. Then it wouldn't have just been me who would have been working full-time in it, but Andrea would have been involved in it. And then, frankly, we didn't know whether we wanted to stay in New York as well. So we moved on.
It didn't offer us that life balance we wanted to have with the kids. So we would have our own business, but then we would be slaves to the business as well. And we would sacrifice our family time just to make the business our baby.
So we decided that wasn't for us. We went to Virginia, and I got a job in Virginia, and pretty much the same job that I had in Pennsylvania. I got a bit more money, so that's a good thing.
Near the beach.
Near the beach, beautiful area, lots of history. So we bought our house on as a foreclosure, and we fixed it up, and we got some equity in it, and we thought that might be the way to go. You know, do that on the side, and we buy some small homes. Fix them up and then rent them, so we have the residual income. And we still haven't gotten another home. You know, I'm still looking for it. We've put offers in for homes, and we didn't get the home. And one day we didn't get a home that we really wanted. We put in the full offer. It was a duplex. We could have moved in. We could have rented the other half of the home, but I don't know, somebody else was lucky.
Yeah, it was really crushing because that home would have put us in a really good position where we wanted to be. And we're going to wrap this up really quickly and bring this full circle. But all that to say, on that day, I was so crushed and was really disappointed because it was a HUD home. It had so many stipulations and loopholes to get the home. And we checked every box. So we thought, this is our house. And we got this deal. We didn't. So that was so crushing. And then it was funny because on that day, I met this man, and his name was Greg. And he has this amazing construction company, was making really good money. But when he was ready to retire, he found out he couldn't because he was a slave. Like, he could only live for 10 years on what he had acquired. And so he had to keep working his business. And so what he ended up doing was starting a network marketing business on the side so that he could retire. And then he got it to the point where he was making really good money and he could retire very soon. So he kind of took us under his wing and he was like, you guys need to open your minds. You need to open your mind to this other world. And he gave us a lot of books to read. And again, we became students of business again. And our minds opened up to not just the point of accepting it, but saying this is the ideal business model, something that anyone can do as a side hustle and build it up. So then the next step was to look for the company that we could feel very passionate about. And we looked and looked, and then everything came full circle. I went to a birthday party last month, and as I do, I talk about business. I'm obsessed with business and finding these answers. And someone said, you need to get in contact with my friend Sam and Ray, and you need to call them immediately. So I did that, spoke to Sam and Ray. We were blown away, as I hope you guys will be tonight. And Andrea and I were like, again, if this is true, we need to be in on this. And so we flew out to Utah to learn more at the global convention. And we heard story after story of people who have been taking this main product, which is Protandim, and just how their lives have been changed from chronic illness, from debilitating diseases to being well again, and then wanting to share this with as many people as possible. So with that, we'll take it to Sam and Ray. That was a long way to get there, but I hope you guys know our story and where we're coming from. And hopefully you can relate to that. But Sam and Ray, I mean,
good friends now. Ray and Sam and Ray both graduated from United States Naval Academy.
Graduated in 2009. That's where they met, right, guys? And Sam was a Navy officer. She worked for captain. You were a captain in the Marines. Sorry, this woman. And served for 5 years. And now she's a homeschooling mom to 3 girls, 1 on the way. And Ray is a helicopter pilot in the Navy, active duty. And so these guys.
And can't wait to retire.
He's ready to retire,
life,
exactly.
Right?
To be with his family. So we turn it over to you guys. They're going to take over from here. And
great, guys.
Thank you so much, guys.
It's such a blessing to be here with you, not just here tonight, but just on this journey. It's amazing how a month ago we didn't even know each other, but this is what we're kind of going to share tonight, is that we're just connecting good people with good information, and that's what, our good friend Tess did with us. She connected us because she knew that there was something of common interest and common value between us and you guys. And so we couldn't be more blessed to now be such good friends. I feel like we became instant best friends, and we're just so excited for this journey ahead. And for all the people who are here tonight to support Andre and Andrea, just thank you so much. We know your lives are so busy, and we want to be respectful of your time. We're going to get right into the meat of what we're talking about, and just to share with you what they're so excited about, and so really it kind of starts off, this is a health opportunity is what this is. And I just want to make a very clear statement up front that in no way are we saying anything here tonight to indicate that we know how to treat, prevent, cure, or mitigate disease, okay? But we do want to kind of ask you a few questions about, what's going on in our world today? Why is it that so many people seem to feel so bad? And why is disease on the rise? Why is it skyrocketing? We live in 2018, about to be 2019, in this modern era where we have access to some of the best information at our fingertips that we've had in our, ever, right? We are at a point where we have total access to information. We have supposedly the best access to Western medication possible. But are we getting better? Do you feel like that we're getting better as a society? You know, I look at statistics like cancer is 1 in 3 people will be affected by cancer in their lifetime. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States. In our children, children's sickness and chronic illness is on the rise. You know, 1 in 50 children, 50, will be diagnosed with autism. You know, is this alarming to you? And do you ever wonder, you know, even if it's not disease, doesn't it just seem that so many of us are chronically fatigued? We are, achy and have pains and have joint pains and have all these allergies and all of these issues that seem to be unexplained, right? You know, the only kind of answer that we have is either medicate or, try something else, right? And we just don't seem to be getting anywhere. And I will tell you, there's an actual reason why this is happening to you. And the answer is we're getting hijacked by things in our environment. Actually, ever since the Industrial Revolution about over 200 years ago, our society, our world that we're living in has become dramatically more toxic. Okay. When you think about things like gas and diesel fuel and air pollution and the herbicides and pesticides that are being constantly sprayed on our farms and on all of our crops, you think about the increase of processed foods that people are eating, the EMFs from things like our cell phones and all of the electronics that we have buzzing around us constantly, you know, whether you know it or not, that is causing toxic damage internally to your body. And there's an actual scientific name for it. And what that is called oxidative stress. Now, oxidative stress is literally when your body has more toxic damage or free radicals than your body can get rid of. And that might sound kind of sciencey, but if you think about it, you know, have you ever cut an apple open, right, and left it on the counter and it turns brown after a few minutes, right? It's oxidizing, okay? The same thing happens, you know, when you put a bike out in the outside for, a couple weeks and it's exposed to the elements, it oxidizes, it rusts. The same thing happens with our bodies as we breathe in oxygen, especially now it's becoming more and more toxic, like I just explained, and our bodies are oxidizing, and it's creating this overload of free radicals in our body, which is oxidative stress, okay? And unfortunately, oxidative stress leads to, it is the root cause, the underlying cause of just over 200 diseases in the body, just about everything that you could think of. And maybe some of your family or friends are being affected by, you know, things like rheumatoid arthritis or asthma, allergies, cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, you know, autism, migraines. I know migraines have affected my father his entire life. Things like chronic inflammation and multiple sclerosis, you know, things, diabetes and chronic fatigue syndrome. All of these things at the very root is because our bodies have more toxic load, more free radicals and oxidative stress, which leads to inflammation, than our body can get rid of. And so if you don't believe me, for anybody who's a research type, you can go to pubmed.gov, which is our National Institute of Health. This is their database for medical research. If you type that word oxidative stress in, you're going to pull up actually today over 180,000 studies confirming what I just told you, you know, showing you all the links to oxidative stress and any disease that you might be thinking about in your family or something that you might be afflicted by. Now, conventionally, you know, the solutions for reducing oxidative stress have been either you wait around until your body becomes, you know, diseased or breaks down or you're hurting or you're aching. You might go to your doctor and they'll prescribe you a medication, whether it's for pain, whether it's for an illness, you know, whether it's cancer and they do chemo and radiation. Those are the traditional methods of solving the oxidative stress problem. Wait till it becomes a real problem and then medicate, right? The other option over the past couple of decades, people have been trying to be proactive about their health, is eat as much, you know, berries as you can, antioxidants, organic food. Try to get all of that, all those super juices and get as many antioxidants into you as you can, blueberries, acai berries. That's what people have been talking about for the past 2 decades. However, if that was doing the job, right, if that was working, then would we be where we're at right now? You know, would we be with disease so on the rise, would we still be feeling so sick and tired and chronic illness out the wazoo? No, the answer is no. We would be doing much better. And the thing is, what we know is that when you take direct antioxidants, like I just described, things like vitamin C or your vitamin E pill or your multivitamin, or you drink your super juice, or you have a handful of blueberries, that's great. Keep eating healthy. I'm not saying don't do that, but it's not doing enough of the job with the amount of toxic damage we have bombarding our cells. So when you use those direct antioxidants, you're only affecting free radicals, that oxidative stress, on a 1-to-1 scale. So it's a handful of blueberries, a handful of free radicals. You may not know this, but our bodies are actually bombarded every single second by trillions upon trillions upon trillions of free radicals. So how big of a deal do you think it's going to be if you're getting rid of one at a time? It's not going to do anything. In fact, it's kind of like your house is on fire and you're picking up little Dixie cups of water trying to put that fire out. That's what we've been doing. And that's why our health is not improving. The fortunate thing, and really this is where we see this as a true blessing, is that around the mid-90s, researchers realized that there's actually a mechanism inside of every mammal, okay, and it's a pathway inside of your body. It's called the NRF2 pathway, and it actually turns your body into an antioxidant factory. You know, imagine that. God already wired our bodies with the perfect mechanism to put out this toxic fire that's happening inside our bodies. But how do we activate it? How do we allow that process to happen the way it did back when our environment wasn't, bombarding us the way it is, and, before our bodies have not been so broken down? Well, when you can activate that NRF2 pathway inside of your cells, your body now is able to eliminate those free radicals, those harmful toxins, on a scale of 1,000,000 to 1. So instead of the little Dixie cup of water on your house fire, it's like calling the fire department and having them stick a powerful fire hose inside of every room of that burning house. So you're finally having the ability to get an edge on this toxic load. Mm-hmm. Let me just see if I can go next here. Okay, so some of the research that, not from our company, in particular, not the company that we are partnered with, but the independent research surrounding this idea of NRF2 activation, which I'm talking about. I just have a couple of highlights. So this is from Oregon State University, and this is what they say about NRF2. They say, when it finds a problem, NRF2 essentially goes back to the cellular nucleus and rings the alarm bell, where it can turn on up to 200 genes that are responsible for cell repair, detoxification of carcinogens, protein and lipid metabolism, antioxidant protection, and other actions. In there, it's called it a longevity assurance factor. And then the next thing, this is from Washington State University. This is a peer-reviewed study. And they concluded that NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. So guys, what I'm trying to share with you is that we have an absolute breakthrough on our hands. And it's very rare that this type of breakthrough is coming from average, ordinary people. You would expect to hear something like this maybe on a news headline or from your doctor or somewhere else other than your cousin or your friend or your family member. And I'm going to explain why that is. So basically, and this just highlights another big pharmaceutical company that compared NRF2 activation and found its findings there. But what I want to explain to you is that this product that we are specifically partnered with here in our company is called LifeVantage. It's called Protandim. And it first came about actually with a news report. So in 2005, ABC Primetime News investigated this product. It came from a small biotech company out of Denver, Colorado. And the interesting thing is that you would expect this type of a breakthrough to come from a pharmaceutical, right? From a drug that you might prescribe. But what they didn't expect is that this NRF2 technology, this powerful, powerful ability for the body to really start healing itself, comes from 5 herbs, okay? So Protandim is a combination of just 5 herbs. Many of you may be familiar with some of them: turmeric, milk thistle, green tea, bacopa, ashwagandha, okay? when they put these 5 herbs together, each at a very small individual dosage, it formed this synergy, this compound that activates our genes. It activates that NRF2 pathway and allows your own body to reduce that oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. That is why ABC Primetime News investigated this product, because in 2005, there was no such thing on the planet that could make that claim. And even in today, in 2018, there's still nothing that can make that claim. There's no product on the planet other than Protandim that reduces oxidative stress in everybody, in mammals, by an average of 40% in 30 days. So what does that mean for you? Well, what we now know, Ray and I have been sharing this education with people for 5 years, is that when your body is activated at that cellular level and it's reducing that oxidative stress, which in turn reduces inflammation dramatically, it allows your body to start repairing itself. So if you're already sort of feeling the effects of that oxidative stress, whether it's chronic illness or just fatigue or pain and aches and things like that, your body now can start to overcome that over time. And that's what's been so exciting for us, to see people's lives change. Again, I'm not saying it's curing people, but what I'm saying is your body is perfectly equipped to really repair itself. This just shows the fact that some people will say, well, I already take turmeric, so I'm all good. Or some people will say, oh, I already drink green tea, so I don't need this. Well, this study actually proves that you can't take each one of those individually and have the same effect. When they're put together in this exact formula, which has now over 10 patents on it, that's how powerful the formula is, it actually makes each one of those ingredients 18 times more effective and activates that pathway, which does all the healing inside of your body. So that's what's so significant about this, and that's why we're so compelled to share this, is because we know our society has a problem. Disease is on the rise. People are not getting better. They're getting way more sick, and it's starting to affect people so near and dear to us. And so we're basically giving people an option, and it's all natural. There's no side effects. It's very accessible for anybody because it's only $40 a month. It's been verified by independent universities all around the world, places like LSU, the American Heart Association, Harvard, Texas Tech, easy for me to say. And if you're somebody who likes to look at that research, I encourage you. I'm not going to send you to our company website. I'm not going to send you to lifevantage.com. I'm going to send you back to the National Institute of Health, pubmed.gov. This is where all the doctors and nurses do all of their research on products. You're going to type in PubMed into the search or Protandim into the search bar, and you're actually going to find 24 peer-reviewed studies from those independent universities I just talked about the effects of Protandim in different areas of the body and what this reducing of oxidative stress is doing inside the lab, compared with what we're seeing in actual humans' lives. So it's very exciting. There are now other products that LifeVantage has been able to develop that activate different areas of the body using natural herbs and compounds. So what we're doing here is we're just helping people on such a big scale improve their overall health. And really, Andrea and Andre can get you more details about all of that, but just really think of this as the concept of the difference between supplementing or medicating. You're just activating. You're activating your own God-given mechanisms to give your body a chance to succeed and get better. And that's what we're seeing. So there are a few more things I could show here, but I think it would be better for the sake of time to let you get back with Andrea and Andre and just take a look at those and take a look at those options. There are some options of how, if you would like to purchase this product, it's very simple and easy to go to their website and do so. And there's some recommended options for some of the products that we have, but that blue bottle is the single most important thing for anybody to take. And like I said, it's $40.99 a month. But I want to have Ray share with you, my husband, a little bit about kind of our story and how this pertains to what we're doing here with sharing this opportunity with people, and how it might be something you might want to, consider or talk more with Andrea and Andre about.
Absolutely. And I love that you said it's sharing because we know how life-changing these products are, we really do feel moral obligation to share them. And when we do this, people typically decide whether they want to become a customer of these products, which is very simple and easy to do by ordering through our personal link. Right here is Andrea and Andrea's link. But sometimes people also feel compelled to share this information with their family and friends as well, so they can then become distributors, meaning that they get their own website for people to order through. And literally, that's all this is from a business standpoint, guys. It's sharing valuable information that people deserve to hear about. But the reason Andre and Andrea are so excited about finding this particular opportunity is because of how unique it is, guys. Let me ask you this. What was the last thing you purchased? Think about it. Did you see a television ad? Did you get excited about a product and then run to a local store to buy it? Probably not, right? More than likely, you heard about something from a friend, a coworker, or through social media. You got excited about it. You went on and did some research online. Then you went to some online site like Amazon, where you could get the product in a much more convenient way, all without even leaving the comfort of your own home, right? And this is social entrepreneurism, guys, and this is the new social economy that we're taking part in right now. And whether you realize it or not, you've probably already played a role in it, because you've probably recommended something to a friend. But I pretty much can guarantee that you probably didn't get paid for it, right? And what we have here with LifeVantage is the opportunity for average people to earn small-time, part-time, or big-time income, replacement income, through this vehicle of word of mouth and this social entrepreneurship and this new social economy. And there are many, many companies in the network marketing space, over 10,000 companies actually. But there are a couple things that make LifeVantage particularly unique. You heard Andrea and Andrea say that they had looked at a couple different companies along the way in this network marketing space until they found LifeVantage the right one for them. And you just heard Sam talk about how we're first to market with the technology that's disrupting the entire health and wellness industry. But LifeVantage is also publicly traded on the NASDAQ. Its ticker is LFVN, and we're a debt-free company that's growing every quarter, which makes us a very stable and transparent company to partner with, for the long term. And by sharing these products and opportunity with others, we all have the ability to create leveraged income, from home and around our families, around our busy lives. And I'll leave you with this before I turn it back over to Andrea and Andrea. When a good friend shared this information with us 5 years ago, it was an answer to our prayers. That was us. Sam was still an active duty Marine Corps officer, although she's not dressed like one there. I'm still an active duty Navy pilot. And, we're stationed 4 hours away from each other. I had just gotten home from a 10-month deployment, and I was, realizing that, while we did have, good income coming in, I had a daughter who I barely saw once or twice a month, and my wife who I barely saw once or twice a month. And I love my wife. That's why I married her, so we could start a family and raise our children together. And that just wasn't really working. We knew at that point that we wanted something different for our lives and for our children. And what we wanted was our time back. Like I said, we were making good money as two officers, and we were able to, squeeze some quality time in here or there, but we wanted quantity time, okay? And, the path that I was on in the Navy is a very admirable path. And I'm very grateful that there are men and women out there who do complete a full 20 or even 30-year career in the military. But personally, I had a goal to be around my family and, stop leaving them for months and months at a time. So, Sam and I saw this opportunity. We worked it around our crazy busy schedule. We now have 3 children and another one on the way in January. Sam homeschools all of our girls, and I'm still on active duty, and I'm getting ready to leave for another deployment here in a couple months. But over those past 5 years, we've created a leveraged income that pays us monthly what would have taken me 25 years on active duty to create retirement. And just furthermore, over a year from now, when I can get out of the Navy after serving for just 11 years, I'm not going to have to go start a new career or, find a new job or a real path in life. Instead, I'm going to be home with my wife and children, full time, where I believe I'm needed and called to the most, homeschooling and traveling and instilling our values in our family. And we've been able to do this over the years just by sharing information and blessing lives of literally thousands of people all across the world by dramatically improving their health and their, really their financial prosperity. So, all this to say, if if you're either concerned about your retirement plan, or you're currently spending, not spending the quality and quantity of time with your family that you want, this might be the perfect time for you to explore this opportunity with Andrea and Andrea. And, obviously, of course, if it's not, I know that they just really appreciate your support. I know that they're grateful for it as they're launching this new venture, and they're very excited for it. So I want to say congratulations, Andrea and Andrea. We're so excited to work with you. And with that, I'll pass it over to you guys.
Hey, we want to be really mindful of everybody's time. So there's so much more we could get into, so much more Sam could have talked about this activation. It's so fascinating. The stories we heard can go on and on and on, but we're not going to do that. You all came out tonight, and we're so grateful for that. We're so grateful for your just being here, giving us your time, listening to us. It's late. I know some of you are coming back from soccer practice. Some of you need to catch up on sleep. Some of you, are missing a show. You're here for us, and we really appreciate it. So thank you so much. If you guys want have any questions, we are an open book. We're here today, tomorrow. We're here, for life. This is a company we really, truly feel is a company of integrity, and we want to be here till the end. So, if today, tomorrow, next year, just ask us any questions. We're happy to answer. Yeah. Andre?
Yep. Yeah, really, the most important thing for us is that you're all here, that we can share this with you, so you know what we're going to do, what we are doing.
Yeah. And to make you aware that this exists.
Yes.
That this exists. This is something that now we give our kids, we give it to ourselves, as not because there's anything wrong with us, but because we want to activate our bodies to live it, so that we don't suddenly creep up with some disease that's been hidden in our bodies all these years. So we're on all the products actually right now. And but again, we want to be mindful of your time. So I think we're going to close it right now and just say thank you and God bless you and thank you for being here. And just get in touch with us if you want to know more. We love you guys so much. Thank you.